Give a farmer seeds, and he'll make food. Give a musician an instrument, and he'll make music. Give a real estate developer land, and he'll destroy it. Real estate development and its consequences have been disastrous for the sport of auto racing.
Hey, I was just writing my manifest, strongly worded letter to the Pickens County Council. If you haven't heard already, my hometown track of Greenville Pickens Speedway is getting demolished. And as you can see, I'm taking it quite well, all things considered. So as it stands right now, there's really no hope of saving the Speedway. It was sold in the dead of night in a smoke-filled room. Kevin Whitaker, a local car dealership magnate, owned the track, and he sold it in the dead of night specifically to avoid a save the Speedway scenario. So mission accomplished, Kevin, thanks. The Porter family, who have won numerous track championships out there, they're trying to get it registered as a historical site so that it can be preserved that way. That may or may not work, we'll see. There are a couple of other options still left on the table, but if I mention them, that would violate the YouTube terms of service, so use your imagination. As for me, I retaliated by building my own short track around my house, and then the HOA came up to me and was like, "Oh, you can't do that, it violates the agreement." And then I was like, "Oh yeah, you were gonna stop me? You and what army?" And then the police got involved, and then I took to the woods. So here we are. Thus begins Slap's doomsday prepper arc. Bet you didn't expect this. Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because it only goes downhill from here. On the plus side, though, I do now have basically enough rice and beans to live forever. So, I mean, who's the real winner in all of this? But you see what's happening here, right? Like, local short track racing is dying. It's being killed off by one of America's greatest exports to the world, real estate development. Greenville Pickens Speedway was actually far enough away from downtown Easley and downtown Greenville that it really wasn't much of a problem. Then those two cities expanded and closed in on it. Same thing happened with Myrtle Beach Speedway. It used to be pretty far away from the hustle and bustle of the strip right there on the beach. It was actually on the west side of the Intracoastal Waterway, far away from everybody's problems. Then Myrtle Beach expanded, and then it became a problem. Then Myrtle Beach Speedway found itself in a booming real estate market. Hell, the Nashville Fairgrounds has been stuck in development hell for a few years now. Back when it was built in the 1900s, Chattanooga was a bigger city, but Nashville became a major American city. And the fairgrounds found themselves in, say it with me, a booming real estate market. A lot of people bought houses there thinking the track wouldn't survive, and now they're getting their comeuppance. The track is trying to get revived and expanded. It's like the one story of a track fighting back and actually kind of winning. I mean, for now, it's still stuck in a stalemate. We'll see how that turns out. Hell, I went to Hickory this year. If you travel 2 minutes off the track property, guess what? You're running across all the big box stores. There's a Best Buy, a Walmart, Five Below, Longhorn Steakhouse, you name it, the whole nine's out there. How long until Hickory finds itself in a booming real estate market and gets swallowed up by everything around it? I give it maybe 10 years tops. Short track racing as we know it is being pushed further and further and further into this little tiny corner of obscurity.
Hey, Slap Shoes from the future here. It's come to my attention that the Freedom Factory, Cletus McFarland's racetrack, is also facing a similar problem. A small little track that used to be far away from everybody found itself in a booming real estate market, and now a developer is trying to buy all of the surrounding land and pressuring the local government to force Cletus to sell the track so they can build about 4,000 new homes out there. So even if you're a crazy millionaire who just wants to support their local short track or even just buy it out to preserve it for yourself, and you don't care if it's a money pit or not, some other jackass can come in, buy out the land near you, and twist your arm enough until you're forced to sell. Even the younger rich people trying to save local short track racing are falling victim to this.
The only tracks remaining are going to be in like Wyoming or something. They're going to be in the sparsely populated areas. And for racing, you can kind of get away with that. It requires a lot of people from a lot of different places all coming together. So maybe that's how local short track racing survives, but it's going to be really, really way out there on the fringes now. And hell, this isn't just local short track racing's problem. This is NASCAR's problem. Chicagoland was built in Joliet, Illinois, which was kind of far away from Chicago proper. Then it found itself in a booming real estate market. And it's basically in the process of being sold. Kentucky, It used to be out in the middle of nowhere. Now it's in a booming real estate market. Now it's in the process of being sold and being dismantled. I mean, unless there's some other plans for it that I haven't heard of yet. Hell, Charlotte. I remember going to Charlotte in the 90s. There was nothing out there. There was literally the racetrack, there was I-85, and there was a road connecting them. That was it. Now, surrounded by big box stores. It's a booming real estate market, Concord Mills and the whole like. California Speedway is being converted into a short track, not to improve the racing. The racing's actually been really good there for the last 10 years. But Fontana is, you guessed it, a booming real estate market, and this means they can sell off a bunch of the land that they own and make bank. Texas was built on farmland out in the middle of frickin' nowhere. They say it's in Fort Worth. I mean, it's like way out on the fringes, or at least it used to be. Now, guess what? That entire area, Dallas, Fort Worth, Grapevine, have all been expanded. Everything's been cleared out. What used to be farmland that was like completely pristine is now just nothing but industrial parks and big box stores. That and sprawling, never-ending suburbs. There are rumors out there that Texas is also talking about contracting, so they can sell some of that land they're not using. Some of the opponents to the Nashville Fairgrounds expansion have actually been residents that live in that area that say, oh, well, we have Nashville Super Speedway all the way out in Lebanon. NASCAR can just go race there. But that's like an hour away from the city, and Lebanon turned into another booming real estate market. Hell, I was at that first race in 2021, and nobody really talks about it, but there is an Amazon warehouse on the other side of the track, on the backstretch, that used to be just empty land, and then it found itself in a booming real estate market, and it got sold to Amazon. On race day, since Amazon makes deliveries on Sundays too, there was a conga line of maybe 50 Amazon vans that literally could not leave the property because of the race day traffic. Let me pose a question. If the day comes when Amazon's so pissed off about this that they go up to the Lebanon County Council or City Council or whoever's in charge over there and say, hey, that one race day a year, yeah, it's kind of eating into our profits. Either close the speedway or we're moving. What do you think Lebanon's going to do? Do you think they're going to let that racetrack just sit there? No, they're going to pressure SMI to get rid of the damn thing. So both the Superspeedway and the fairgrounds find themselves in booming real estate markets and have people that actively want them closed down. No matter where you go, there is going to be somebody wanting to shut a track down. You can put it wherever you want to, unless it's like literally on top of a mountain in Colorado somewhere. Somebody somewhere is going to be crawling up your ass about it. Especially with these American real estate developers. I don't think this is like a capitalism problem. I think this is more like an American mentality problem. But if something's not making the most amount of money that it possibly can, well, then it just doesn't deserve to exist, I guess. I swear, if you took American real estate developers and you like plopped them down in France or something, it would only be about 5 years before they tear down the Eiffel Tower for scrap metal and put up a condo in its place. Oh, the Arc de Triomphe? Hey, let's cut that down and make a miniature golf course or something. There are no sacred cows in America anymore. Everybody's totally willing to just chop down everything in order to just make as much money as possible. And are there any new tracks being built? I mean, there's a few out there, but no big projects. It's just us just trying to hold on to what we have. We're just being pushed further and further away from everybody, further and further from the eyes of people. The LA Coliseum race, it actually was a good idea because it put NASCAR right in the middle of everything, right there in the middle of LA. It got eyes on us when everybody else is trying to shut us down. And it just feels like, you know, the walls are closing in. Just everybody's out to get us. Everybody's gonna try to stop us at some point. We gotta do something. We gotta take to the woods. We gotta mount a resistance somehow. Greenville Pickens is gone. Myrtle Beach is gone. Where does this leave South Carolina and the short track racing scene? We got to do something. And you know what? I can't just hang out here in the woods eating pork and beans and spam and rice and beans for the rest of my life. I got to get out there. So, you know what? There's still some short tracks left here in South Carolina. In 2023, I'm going to go to all of them. That's right. Anderson, Sumter, Cherokee, Travelers Rest, Lawrence County, Florence. Heck, I'll probably find some others. After all of those tracks make their schedules for 2023, I'll make a follow-up to this and I'll put together a tour. I'll put up a set date where I go to every single one of these tracks, and I hope to see you guys there, you know, before these tracks are gone. We got to get out there and we got to make as big of a push as we can. We got to show that the community really is strong. We love going out here. We love going to the track. The problem is, a lot of these tracks, man, they don't make a whole lot of money, which means their amenities aren't all that great. I mean, instead of urinals, they just have like a trough or whatever, and that's kind of nasty. But these places, they just need an injection of cash. And if we can give it to them a buck at a time, well, so be it. So in 2023, I'll see you at the track, at Florence, at Sumter, Cherokee, Lawrence County, wherever. As soon as those tracks put up their schedules, I'll get something put together. And until next time, y'all take it easy. I gotta figure out a way to get all this back in my house.